On the night of May 28, 1453, the last Roman emperor alive walked into the Hagia Sophia, knelt in prayer, said goodbye to his court, and walked out into the dark to die. By dawn the following morning, a civilization that had existed for 2,500 years was over. The Fall of Constantinople on May 29, 1453, is one of those events that historians use as a bookmark. The moment they point to and say, "Here, this is where one age ended and another began." The Middle Ages ended not gradually, but in a single morning, when the Ottoman Sultan Mehmed II rode his horse through the gates of a city that had stood as the eastern bastion of Christian civilization since the Emperor Constantine dedicated it in 330 CE. What makes the fall so extraordinary is not just what was lost, but what it set in motion. Mehmed II was 21 years old. He had been planning this siege since before he was old enough to rule. He brought with him the largest cannon ever cast in human history, a bronze monster designed by a Hungarian engineer named Urban, who had first offered his services to the Byzantine Emperor, been turned away, and then walked straight to the Ottoman camp. The cannon fired 2,200-pound stone balls that shook the ground for a mile in every direction. The walls of Constantinople, which had held for 1,000 years, cracked and eventually fell. The scholars who fled the dying city carried their manuscripts west, to Florence, to Venice, to Rome. The ancient Greek texts they brought with them, philosophy, mathematics, science, literature, landed in a Europe that had largely forgotten they existed. Those manuscripts lit the spark of what the world would later call the Renaissance. The Middle Ages did not end because Europe grew out of them. They ended because an Ottoman cannon opened a gate and a generation of Byzantine scholars became refugees, carrying the ancient world in their arms. One city fell, the modern world began.